It's Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky up against Governor Glenn Youngkin of Virginia. Today on Political Excess, we're going to go through this hypothetical 2024 presidential matchup. This was suggested to me in the comments, so let's dive right into this. We'll talk more about it at the end. But really quickly, I think Andy Beshear, he's going to be viewed as too moderate, too conservative for the Democratic base. The progressives, they're not going to want to come out for him. His charisma is low. Glenn Youngkin, his charisma, I think, is also low. But he's done a better job of bridging the Trump base and the establishment base. He's going to get reasonable turnout. So let's start here in Alaska. That will be safe for Youngkin. Hawaii, safe for Beshear. Back up to the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, safe for Beshear. Nevada, that is a purplish state. In this matchup, I see it going to Youngkin by a lean margin. Idaho and Utah, safe for Youngkin. Arizona, that will go back toward the Republicans by 2 or 3 points, leans for Youngkin. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Youngkin. Colorado, that will get under 10 points, but it will be likely for Beshear. New Mexico, that'll get under 5 points and be leans for Beshear. North and South Dakota, that will be safe for Youngkin. Nebraska at large, safe for Youngkin. The 2nd District, that will be leans for Youngkin. He will actually flip that back by 1 or 2 points. Kansas and Oklahoma, safe for Youngkin. How about down in Texas? That will be mid to high single digits, likely for Youngkin. I don't see Beshear doing really all that well. In a place like Austin, Travis County, he's not going to get the turnout he needs. Youngkin would do reasonable in the suburbs. Up to Minnesota, this will get under 5 points, leans for Beshear. Iowa, that will be high single digits, could even get over 10, likely for Youngkin. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Youngkin. Let's cross the Mississippi River and go up to Wisconsin. This will go toward the Republican Glenn Youngkin by at least 2 points, maybe up to 4 points. So leans for Youngkin. Illinois will get low double digits, safe for Beshear. Let's go up to Michigan, and this would be very, very close. Could go either way, but I do have it as a tilt for Glenn Youngkin, probably under a half a point. Indiana, safe for Youngkin. How about Kentucky? This would be Andy Beshear's home state. I think it would be closer than most other Republicans, given he's the current governor, he's popular there, but national politics are different, and I see it going safe for Youngkin, probably 12 to 15 points. Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, safe for Youngkin. Let's go down to Florida, and that will be about 5-6 points, likely for Youngkin. Let's go to Georgia. This will go back toward the Republicans by about 1 to 3 points, leans for Youngkin. South Carolina will be safe for Youngkin. North Carolina, that will be likely for Youngkin, probably about 5.5 to 6 points. Let's jump up to Ohio. That will be at least mid-single digits. Easily could be high single digits, likely for Youngkin. West Virginia, very, very safe for Glenn Youngkin. Let's go all the way to the northeast into Maine. At large, that will be leans for Beshear. The 1st District, that will be low double digits, safe for Beshear. The 2nd District, that will be likely for Youngkin. Again, mid to high single digits in that district. How about in New Hampshire? That will actually go red this time. Probably about 1 to 3 points, leans for Youngkin. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Those will all be over 10 points, safe for Beshear. Let's go to Pennsylvania. That will be about a 1.5 point margin, leans for Youngkin. And finally, the last state is Virginia. This is, of course, Glenn Youngkin's home state. It's become pretty blue over the last several presidential elections. Kentucky and Virginia actually do border each other, and I do think it would get as close as it could get. In the end, I think the D.C. suburbs, they're just too overwhelmingly blue, and it would go to Beshear by a tilt margin, but it would be very close, probably about 3/4 of a point. And that's the map, and that comes out to 317 electoral votes for Glenn Youngkin, 221 for Andy Beshear. So Youngkin wins this pretty comfortably. He flips back pretty much all the states he needs to. He gets close in Virginia, but a lot of these states are narrow. Michigan, New Hampshire, Georgia, Nevada. I just see Beshear is not really resonating too much with the Democratic base. Again, progressives, they're going to pretty much stay home. Some of them are going to come out anyway to support the Democrat. Maybe some of them want to vote against Glenn Youngkin. But most of them are going to not find Andy Beshear overly exciting. And I don't even see him winning his own state. I don't even really see it getting close. It would be closer than usual, but that's not saying a whole lot. Glenn Youngkin, he's been relatively popular in Virginia. He's had reasonable success bridging the establishment base with the Trump base. I don't think his charisma is really all that great either. Doesn't come off as too exciting to me, but I guess it works well enough. he would have enough success at the suburbs with independents and swing voters. In some of the deep red states, that's actually where Andy Beshear might do a little bit better. Given he's regarded as more conservative than some of the other Democratic governors, some of those moderates would cross over and support Beshear. They might see Glenn Youngkin as being not what they're really looking for, and Beshear might be a mild, appealing enough alternative for some of those voters. But then again, in a lot of the deep blue states, Washington, Oregon, and even in the Northeast, New Jersey, Connecticut, those margins would be reduced, and actually Glenn Youngkin, I think, would get close to getting some of these down to a likely margin. But I kept most of the traditional blue states at solid blue. But if you think Glenn Youngkin could get it under 10 in New Jersey, I can understand that. So on the surface, this seems like a fun matchup. But to me, Glenn Youngkin seems like he would end up winning it. He would have enough success in the Rust Belt. Beshear would try to relate to the blue-collar workers there. But I think Youngkin would just tie too many of his policies to the modern Democratic Party. And those workers would go pretty hard toward Youngkin. So is this map perfect? No, of course not. You could make a case for changes in some of these states, including Virginia, but I don't see Beshear actually being able to win this one. But of course, it depends on the national environment. It depends on if there's scandals. It depends on which issues they run on, who their running mate is, etc. But this is just what I think. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this matchup? Which states would you change? How would your map look? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.